Praise God, we're here at Burwood. It's Monday, 21st of October, and the year's just disappearing. We're here in Burwood again today because there are people everywhere, in every suburb, in every place in the world, but in every suburb in Sydney, people need a saving knowledge of Jesus Christ. And we come out and we preach the gospel, because in the gospel there is life. Jesus is life. And God is life. He's all about life. When you think about it, you look around these beautiful things, you can see the birds, you can see the trees. We're in a very natural setting. And it's appropriate that we speak about life. Because in the Garden of Eden, God made man, it says in Genesis. He made every creeping thing, the birds of the air, everything. And he breathed life into the nostrils of Adam. And he breathed life into every living thing. So God is all about life. And the life we have in this world, we attribute to God. Not everybody does. People think it's just their right, just their happened to them that they are alive on this earth. They attribute nothing to God. But every part of life is about God. God is a miracle working God. When Jesus Christ was on this earth, he raised the dead. When Lazarus was in the tomb for 4 days, Jesus with a loud cry said, "Lazarus, come out." And Lazarus came alive again. Life came back into him. Jesus is about life. And he promises to give us life and give us life more abundantly. Isn't that a beautiful thing? Many people are seemingly satisfied with life as it is. If I were to ask many people, are you satisfied with your life? I would get the answer probably, oh yes, my life is great. And their facade would be telling me this story of how happy they are. The problem with happiness is, even if they are happy, and I don't believe many people, because they don't want to know that things are not going right in their life. They don't want anybody to know, and people are very protective of their pride. They don't want anyone to know that their life is probably not going so well. But there's a promise with God to give us life, and life more abundantly. That's a wonderful promise, because we need more than this life can give us. Even though people try very hard to make their life happy, to make their life prosperous, they work hard at it and spend their hours and their days and their weeks working. Some people 12, 14 hours a day. And you know, it's we're here amongst all these beautiful things. You can see the water over here. It's this really nice place here. I shouldn't be talking about that. We're talking about the life that God has promised to every person who will believe. He says, "Believe on me, and I will cause you to be born of the Spirit." Now, what does all that mean? Isn't it enough that we're alive? Isn't it enough that we live in a great country like Australia and that things are going okay? Even though across the other side of the world there's turmoil in the world. But Australia, there's relative peace. Everything's going fine. Do we really need any more than what we have? And the answer to that is emphatically yes, because we're leading what I see as a half-life, and a life that gives occasional happiness, some people even consistent happiness, but most people, I believe, are struggling. Most people are struggling with their life because of the hardship of life. People have to work, and they sometimes are in a job they don't want to be in, but they have to pay the rent, they have to pay the food, they've got to support their family. It's no longer the rose-coloured glasses of honeymoon love anymore. The kids are crying, and they're crying out for more than just food. They're crying out for money to support them. And people's lives become very routine and even a bit of a drudge. But you have a promise with God, It's no longer a half-life. When you ask Jesus Christ to come into your life, something amazing happens on the inside. There's a part of every person. When you're born in this world, there's a part of you that is not active. It is your spirit man. And everything we do in this world without being born of the Spirit of Jesus is out of the self-life. We have a mind and a body. We spend our mind, the time in our mind, thinking about how we can satisfy the cravings of the body. That's what it is. The body, the self-life is crying out to be satisfied, like those little kids we were just talking about. But when you're born of the Spirit of God, there's something greater. Your spirit man comes alive. You are then faced with more options, more choices about how you make every decision in your